All right, so in this video, I just wanted to share a little bit of an update for why I have not been so active on YouTube as of late after, 3 or 4 months of uploading 3+ videos a week and just a little bit of other commentary on a few other things that I've been noticing. So I think really the primary idea and the primary thing that I'll talk about in this video is this, which is that there is this overwhelming trend, dynamic, principle, idea, motivation, drive, whatever you want to call it, to basically lower everything to the absolute lowest common denominator, which I guess is fine maybe for a certain kind of approach or maybe certain kind of product or certain kind of situation, yes. The problem that people do not realize, is that let's say you have person one and they say, you know what, let's just lower everything down, all the knowledge, all the information, the skill sets, the criteria, everything, let's just lower it all down. Okay. So then let's say person two learns from person one. So they just learned a dumbed down, simplified, ridiculous version of something. So then that number two person teaches a person number three. Number three is learning a dumbed down version of a dumbed down version. Person number three teaches person number four. Person number four is learning a dumbed down version of a dumbed down version of a dumbed down version of a dumbed down version. So then let's say you have that just starting to spread out across more and more people, and you have now an entire industry, an entire group, an entire niche, an entire organization, an entire culture that's a derivative of a derivative of a derivative of a derivative that's all been dumbed down at every single stage of the process, that's been watered down to the lowest common denominator using the softest language, the most inclusive, the most accepting, the most correct of everything, to where actually over a period of time, what is it even anymore? Like, the actual essence is not even there. It's completely empty, and it has been empty for a while. So then what do people have to do? I got to just start pulling in all these things from all these other arenas, or I got to find some way of stimulating my fight or flight response to make my nervous system think this thing is meaningful or useful or helpful. Personally, I don't really find any of that interesting, and I don't really understand why so many people are so afraid of any degree of challenge or any degree of admitting that maybe they need to grow or learn or improve at something. So that's kind of why after a while I just kind of lost my motivation and desire for making videos, uh, because of that overarching mindset for quite a lot of people that I was interacting with through that. And obviously that's not everyone. I get that. There are obviously people who don't have that mindset, but what I notice is that if I make something stupid and clickbaity, obviously that gets a lot more views. I'm like, oh, the WEF exposed. Tons of views. But then if I make a video that's actually meaningful or from the heart or something that can genuinely help people, crickets. But then I'll get so many comments on videos like, oh, help me with this, help me with that. What should I do for this? What should I do with that? And sometimes it'll be comments on the actual video where I'm describing the answer to the question, or at least my opinion or my view on the answer to that question. I'm like, okay, so this 8-10 minute video is dedicated explicitly to answering the question that you asked in the comments to that video. I just don't know really. I really don't understand that. And then let's say if I'm a little more what people might view as critical or judgmental or harsh, then there's a lot of blowback and pushback because it's too harsh, critical, mean, judgmental, whatever. But then let's say I'm a little more gentle and soft and inclusive and whatever with my language. People are like, oh, this is boring, it's not interesting, doesn't make sense. And really the underlying principal uniting factor between both of those things is that the vast majority of the comments that I see and conversations I have with people in response to what's said in either video has pretty much nothing to do with what I actually said in the video, and is not actually what I said or meant, or even in the same ballpark, or even in the same like city as what I was referring to. So I'm kind of like, cool, why did I just spend all this time and energy trying to put this thing together as clearly and easily as possible, even though it might not be that, might be a difficult subject, but then still it's all lost in translation. So that's the first thing is there's just that overarching mindset of just wanting people want things now, quick, fast, easy, make it as easy as quick and fast and give me the 3-step process, all this different stuff, which it's like that's not real life. It never has been, probably never will be. It's just kind of an idea, a fantasy to play on people's like kind of lowest base desires, which goes back to what I'm saying is over a period enough time, everyone's just appealing to everyone's lowest base clickbait response. So then what you get is everyone competing for more clickbait, everyone competing for more stimulating attention, which just dumbs everything down and dumbs everyone down and lowers things more and more and more and more. And then people are more dissatisfied, more stressed, more uptight, more anxious, more reactive. But they think it's the opposite. And you can apply this across the board, whether it's mainstream news media or alternative spirituality or whatever your bias or preference is. I guarantee you these principles and these dynamics are at play because it's human nature and it's part of the world we live in.